weather breaks, I'm gonna mend these fences.
Come to myself in a dark world. The straight way is lost. I'm an alien. To be precise, I'm an alien consciousness. A strange release of energy brings us here. I cannot rightfully tell of how I entered this world, so full of sleep was I, at the moment I left the true way. I do not look like an alien. I inhabit the body of an Indian scientist I found dying here in the desert in the southwestern United States. Come with me on this journey. We shall investigate life here in New Mexico. Why do some birds suddenly fly away from the flock? Is it a collective decision? Why did I fly here, leaving my true love behind? At night, she comes to me in the form of a woman the scientist must have loved. In my world, we are a collective consciousness. The part of us I love the most has no gender. We are quark-based, connected, moving through all of matter, one. Here, I think of her as a woman. I think of her, and life becomes a sweet pain, becomes full and worth enduring, and the night becomes a time of poetry. She is the sun on stone. She illuminates the hidden colors, yet she remains unknown. I travel south through what I call the great bowl of the land. This is the Wild West, the New West. Trucks are the new Broncos. There is a reason I traveled south. An event happened here which was the single largest release of Orgon energy ever known. I need to study this. Many factors came together. The release was not because of the conversion of matter to energy and nuclear reaction. That happens all the time in stars. The release of Orgon energy was because of the rupture with the continuum. This weapon was viewed as a weapon of peace. It was described in terms of the God of love, who did say, I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. But that story was about the oneness of all things, dissolving all boundaries. The weapon should rather have been described as Geryon, the demon who took Dante down to the eighth circle of hell. Behold the savage beast with the pointed tail that passes mountains and breaks through walls. Behold him that pollutes the whole world. Come with me on this journey. There is much yet to explain. The scientist, the doctor whose body I inhabit, has spent his life chasing aliens. Many of us have come. Not all of us are good. I'm meeting Chris, who thinks of me as the doctor and not an alien. Along the way, I stop, look around, and think. There's a reason I'm putting these messages out into the internet cloud. I must reach her, the one I left behind. I know she is desolate in her sadness. She might die.
These Orgon energy fields that Dr. Reich was talking about so long ago, they used to intersect here at Chaco. And as you can see, they're drifting downwards. We have two major highways here that even intersect. It seems like every consciousness is attracted to these energy fields for some reason. But now, they're settled here in Roswell.
So Chris, are you in and you think this is worth pursuing?
Oh, they're there. It's there. We've got to go. We've
All
got
right,
to
man.
check it out.
We're going to check it out.
Why is there anything at all rather than nothing? Heidegger's question haunts me, as does the hazy memory of that night the pirate ship attacked on that far alien world. My host died in the explosion. I transferred to the pirate ship, came to Earth, and now inhabit this human body. Her memory is always ever present with me.
The smell of your hair is still on my hands.
I send these messages out into the internet cloud in the hopes of reaching the one I left behind. Of course, she is not a woman on my world. That is how I think of her in this life. Lovesick, my mind is clouded, I am confused. I try to beguile myself by going to shows of music and dance. Why do humans dance? My way lay beyond the dark stars. Why do I tarry so long on Earth? I go down to the UFO Museum in Roswell. I know there are answers here. This town is strangely welcoming to aliens. They have the wrong idea of what we look like. At the museum, I use my inner vision. The colors will change when truth is on display. Something did happen here. In the 1940s. There is much hype, of course. Stuff from Hollywood. Stories. Doctored photographs. We are not strange green men. Or are we? One of the exhibits does get it. We come here as energy. I find some evidence that something happened here in Roswell. Something remarkable. It happened in 1947, the year of India and Pakistan's independence. I look into the scientists' memories, and the connections to 1947 slowly become clear. Inexplicably, in 1947, the countries were hastily divided 1 year ahead of schedule. Some of the British royals may unknowingly have been renegade Tarari. Gandhi was killed. Many wars resulted, releasing much Orgon energy. When brother fights brother, the rupture with the continuum is far larger. Ironically, Mountbatten, who sped up the division, was himself blown up by the IRA. Could they have been our own Rah-Rah wing? 10 million people had to flee in a matter of days across ill-defined borders. 1 million people were hacked to pieces, neighbor against neighbor. The country burned.
After 40,000 years, I, Milkatalas, am returning to Earth. Interesting. That was an ICBM in its boost phase. What's been going on here? I think I smelled a Ferrari at work.
Mirkatalos, dreamer of dreams, keeper of the sacred flames, has come to Earth. Slow now, he basks in the incandescent golden rain of the sun goddess. He must replenish his energy stores. Energy is what connects us to the source, to the very beginning of time. It connects us to absolute zero, to the spirit energy from which we all came. He realizes he has to leave for New Mexico to find Raj. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Yes, I am learning to dance. My exile is ending. I'm merging into the mind and body of the scientist. The line between our egos is dissolving. This is the dance of unseen evaporating water molecules leaving an ephemeral pool in a rock's hollows. I have looked into the scientist's memories. He danced at 16 without music to the sunset on a sea wall. What happened to that 16-year-old? I need to find out. Did some aliens enter his body? I have realized how one deals with loss with dignity and grace is the true measure of ourselves. Yes, dance with me on these cliffs of earth, spreading our hands wide, expansive, as if tripping on wild and powerful nectar, loving these worlds and all their glories, miracles, blazing colors across the sky. We will stand and love all creation. All of us are beautiful, we will realize. Love us all, warts and all. I'm so glad you are with me. I am no longer lost in love.
Who are you? I don't get this. I just don't get this. Oh God. What's going on? Who are you? Oh God. Think of this as having woken up in a dream, knowing that you're dreaming. I want you to understand something. The Orgon energy we are stealing, the rift through which this energy is accessible, is created by humans. You know they are unique in this universe. Here, there is a conscious and an unconscious mind. For all of us, it's just mind. We are connected. I know the bad thing is that some of us started interfering and widening the rift. And I believe we have to pay the price for it. And this is where you come in. You see, we know you are responsible for our demise. We represent powers that you cannot even begin to imagine. We can travel through space and time. We are masters of the universe. We are the Tarari. I can take any form I want. I've chosen this form to make myself acceptable to you. Try to understand this. You have to help us. And I have to tell you, our simulations show if we kill you, it doesn't help us. Things are even worse.
After a dream like that, I have to find some friends.
I'm entering Jal, New Mexico. This is a one gas station town. It's an oil boom town with a sea of RVs.
I love the D-Bar Cafe. I'd take the food here over some fancy restaurant in Santa Fe any day. This is real food for real people. I'm meeting my friend Chris here.
Hey, how are you?
Not bad, man.
Good.
Thanks for doing this, man.
Yeah, no problem. So, let me get this straight. You want me to go in here and tell Cowboy Reed that aliens are gonna land on his ranch?
Yes.
I love this land. This is land one could dig one's talons deep into the turf and lift the earth to the sky. This is big country with a big heart. Reed has no idea his ranch has a special connection to Wilhelm Reich and Orgon Energy. His truck's not here. He has a big heart and is quite trusting. Meridian lines of energy intersect on his ranch. When his penknife collection is complete, the aliens will land.
I hope at some point I'll fill it all the way up.
Wow. And that antelope was the first one you ever killed. How
Yeah.
old were you?
Probably about 22.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
They're 16 and 3/4 inches long. So it was a pretty good kill. Hit him about right there. And he made about 3 steps. And that was it. Went down. And he was pretty tasty. So what you're saying is there's good aliens or bad aliens. And if that's the truth, then let me show you this. No shit. Anybody comes on my property, I'll shoot them. Good aliens or bad aliens. It's not like that, Reed. You know, guns aren't the answer. You see, let me try to put it this way. You know, think of a carnival, right? Like, let's say I was listening to a carnival overture by like a classical composer, you know, on the way here. Think about it, you know, the carnival for a kid is something really exciting. But the guy who works in the ride, you know, who does it, he hates it. Or some guy driving by wouldn't like the carnival at all. He's thinking of something else. So that object, the carnival ride, is different for all of us. There's a spirit inside it. See, we interact with that spirit. And that's just wood and metal, that ride. It's got a spirit. So think about us. We've got a spirit too. We're connected to this source from where we all came. And when we don't do the right thing, this spirit can be stolen from us. And I think that's what these aliens are doing, man. They're stealing what makes us human, what makes us strong as a country, what makes us who we are. They're stealing our spirit. And I don't think guns are going to help you. Well, I think we need to get rid of them. I should be talking about the same kind of aliens. Well, I'm talking about those ones crossing the border. No, man. This is more complicated than you thought. These guys are coming from other worlds. Are you talking about aliens from outer space? Yes, my friend. Holy shit. And it's not what you think, because think about it like this, there's aliens in all of us. Go back 10,000 years, 100,000 years. Those people would look like aliens from other worlds, our ancestors. Even 50 years ago, the way they thought is not the way you and I think today. There's aliens in all of us, man.
Man, I find that hard to believe.
Hey, Reed,
What?
where you going, man?
I'm going hunting aliens.
No shit.
I have to cleanse myself. I head for the ocean. I'm sick at heart. The nuclear test attracted the Tarari. The misused quote led them to India. Now they interfere in Earth's affairs. I have found Meghdut by Kalidas. It is entirely my own story. A fall from divine grace, loss of love, and separation. I realize we can never defeat the aliens. They are inside us. My messages will never get through. These fantasies of having come from other worlds, of having come from spaceships that I keep seeing in my mind, that's what they are. These are fantasies. Yes, I did come in a ship, but it was an airplane, and I landed in New Orleans from India in 1983. There is some truth to this fantasy. I have loved and lost the world's most beautiful woman. I will never meet her again. And yes, there are aliens in all of us. Parts of our unconscious that we do not understand. Else how could we do the things we do to each other? War, hatred, betrayal.
When the weather breaks, we're gonna go out dancing, go out dancing, go out dancing. One last Saturday night. One last Saturday. When the weather breaks, I'm gonna cross that river. When the weather breaks, I'm gonna find you to see, find you to see. One last Saturday. One last Saturday.
One part journalist, one part surrealist, one part Buddhist. I cry, then laugh at myself for crying. There is something comical in all of this. It is, after all, a divine comedy. The desires of the heart are as crooked as corkscrews. Not to be born is the best for humans. Once born, organic, separate from the vast ocean of the continuum, the world seems chaotic. The best that we can do is find a formal order in a piece of this chaos. Consider it as a dance. This is why we dance, to be connected. Absolute zero is not nothingness. It is full of an infinitude of possibilities.